Sometimes I look around and think, this IT thing is moving too fast. Can I even keep up with this? It's too much. With the rise of AI, cost cutting, outsourcing, that safe feeling that most IT professionals used to have, it's gone. If you click this video because you're an IT professional and deep down you know the landscape has changed, you have that weird feeling that something is not right, you have that fear inside you, I don't know, maybe you've been in your current IT role for quite some time and you know something has to change. But you're stuck in this comfortable zone where on one hand, you know things need to change, but on the other hand, distractions, laziness, family stuff, they keep pulling you back. I know that feeling. You're not alone. I've had the same fear before. And a lot of people I talk to in IT these days, in tech, in cybersecurity, they feel it too. I was reading a newsletter from this guy, Daniel Messler. Even he had doubts about where the industry is heading right now. And honestly, he's not wrong. The tech landscape has changed. Politics have changed. The job market, not just in the US, but across the whole world, has changed, especially in Western countries. And I know because I've been in the tech industry for more than 10 years. I started in IT, then networking, then cybersecurity. And the one thing that has always been constant is this: tech evolves every day. That's normal. That's why we got into this field in the first place, right? Ever-growing field, good pay, good opportunities, all that sort of stuff. But recently, things have shifted dramatically. With the rise of AI, cost-cutting, outsourcing, a lot of jobs are getting automated and a lot more are being shipped overseas to cheaper labor. That safe feeling that most IT professionals used to have, it's gone. And I'll be honest, even I felt that. Sometimes I look around and think, damn, this IT thing is moving too fast. Can I even keep up with this? It's too much. So in this video, I'm going to break down 3 main reasons why your current IT job is a trap and why you cannot just wait around anymore hoping someone's going to help you. Because the truth is, no one's coming to save you. And after that, I'll tell you exactly what you can do about the whole thing, all right? Point 1, comfort is the enemy. If you're doing help desk, sysadmin, or any kind of repetitive work that can be automated, you need to hear this. You're not safe. Your family is not safe. You need to wake up. This isn't fear-mongering, guys. This is just how the world works. Back in the day, we didn't have online shopping, right? You guys remember that? Then the internet came, and now retail stores are closing because everything's online. Same thing is happening in tech right now. Globalization, AI automation, outsourcing. If your role is based on repeatable tasks, you're standing in the middle of the road while a truck called progress is coming straight at you. If you want to achieve something great, you have to get uncomfortable. You have to keep learning, improving, upgrading yourself. Because if you don't, one day you wake up in your 40s or 50s, laid off from your job, and you realize the world doesn't need your old skills anymore. That's just reality. Point 2, loyalty is a trap. I see this a lot. People staying loyal to companies for years. They think, I've been here a long time, they won't let me go, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you as someone who's now a business owner, loyalty means nothing if the numbers don't add up. If the company needs to cut costs, you're gone, no matter how valuable they said you were. The truth is, they want you comfortable. They want you to stay trapped, predictable, dependent. Forget what HR says about job hopping being bad, all that bullshit. If your company isn't helping you grow, if they're not giving you mentorship, training, promotions, or real opportunities, then staying loyal is just wasting your potential. Don't be the person who gives 10 years to a company that would replace you in 10 minutes. Point 3, you've been trained to be an employee, not an asset. This is the hardest pill to swallow, guys. Most IT professionals are conditioned to wait. Wait for your manager to give you a course. Wait for HR to promote you next year. Wait for someone to tell you what's next. That's the trap. You've been trained to be a worker, not a strategist. The people who are winning right now, They stopped waiting for permission. They stopped thinking like employees. They start thinking like operators. They're not just maintaining systems anymore. They're building systems that maintain themselves. That's the difference between being replaceable and being irreplaceable. So, what's the solution, you might ask? Here is the part most people skip. You cannot control AI. You cannot control globalization. You cannot control how companies operate. But you can control how much you evolve, how valuable you become, and how fast you adapt. The solution isn't chasing every new certifications in the market, under the sun. Because half the time, these certifications are outdated before you even finish studying them. What matters is the mindset, the curiosity, the ability to pick up new skills fast and actually build something real with them. For example, right now, I'm experimenting with a tool called N8N. It's an AI automation tool that can help streamline cybersecurity tasks, okay? Why am I doing that? Because that's where the world is going. Companies want fewer employees doing more with automation. They want people who can integrate, script, and leverage AI because that saves them money. You're seeing it right now in the news. I know it's dark, I know it's very bad way, but it's the truth. And you can sit there and whine about outsourcing, AI automations, taking our jobs and all that sort of stuff. Or you can adapt. You can evolve, you can become so good they cannot ignore you. I talk to business owners all the time and I'll tell you the truth. They don't make emotional decisions. They make financial ones. If you can save them money, automate processes, secure systems, make things more efficient, they'll always find a spot for you. And at the end of the day, no one is coming to save you. Not your boss, not your company, not the economy. You either take control or you get controlled. The people who will win in the next decade are not the ones with the most experience. They're the ones who evolved the fastest. Remember that. They're the ones who evolved the fastest. So take this as your wake-up call. Upgrade your skills. Get uncomfortable. Find mentors who have already made the transition. Copy what they're doing right now. You don't need to reinvent the whole wheel. Just move faster than the person next to you, okay? Because the real trap isn't your IT job. It's staying the same while the world moves on without you. No one's coming to save you. So get up and start saving yourself. By the way, if you want to learn how to break out of that IT trap that you're in right now, moving to cybersecurity, I've built a free mini course showing the exact process I used and how hundreds of others have done it too. You can click here somewhere in the video and watch the whole playlist. Alrighty, let's get straight into it. You want to build a cybersecurity career, but you don't just want to study. You want to practice. Everyone talks about blue team labs and tools, but no one really explains how they work together or what to actually do with them. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 free tools that will give you real hands-on experience with defensive security. And I'll explain how to use them, what to look for, and why they matter. Let's get started. Number 1, firewalls. Everyone says install pfSense, and yeah, pfSense is a solid starting point. It's free, it runs on a virtual machine, and it teaches you the basic of firewall rules, NAT, DHCP, VLANs, and routing, all that sort of stuff. But if you stop there, you're learning what hobbyists learns, not what enterprises use. If you want to go deeper, get your hands on next generation firewalls like Palo Alto or FortiGate. These are the ones you'll actually see in SOCs and corporate environments. And it's really easy. You can deploy them in Microsoft Azure right now for free for 30 days. All you pay is for the virtual resources. And even that is covered, by Microsoft, because Microsoft gives you $200 credit. Now, this is where you start learning real skills. How to route inbound and outbound traffic through a firewall in Azure in the cloud. How to create network and network security groups and connecting all the subnets in the cloud. How to log traffic, view connection histories, apply threat profile, all that sort of stuff. Basically, you're learning networking, cloud infrastructure, and security all in one go. And yes, I have a playlist on my channel where I used to teach this whole setup in Azure. It's a bit outdated now because Microsoft keeps changing the Azure interface every other week. So Microsoft, seriously, if you're watching this video, please stop doing that. You're ruining my tutorials. But yeah, the core concept is the same. And I'm releasing a full updated Azure Firewall Lab video soon. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and make sure that you hit the bell icon as well. Number 2, endpoint detection and response, EDR. This is where most people get stuck. They think installing antivirus is the same as learning endpoint detection. It's not. EDR platforms show you how attacks behave on endpoints, process creation, lateral movement, privilege escalation, all in real time. If you want something free, you can start with OpenEDR. It's simple, open source, and lets you monitor what happened on a machine when you execute a suspicious files, for instance. You can literally open your event logs and see what actions are being flagged in your EDR platform. Now, if you want real-world exposure, go for CrowdStrike or Microsoft Defender for endpoint. And that's what we use at our academy for our students. Now, here's what you can do with these tools. Create simulated malware or PowerShell scripts and see how the EDR responds. Investigate alerts. Look at the process tree, the parent-child relationship, hash values, and user accounts involved with the whole thing. That will allow you to learn triaging alerts. What's real? What's a false positive? Practice writing short incident notes based on the alert itself. If you don't have access to CrowdStrike, you can just easily activate your Microsoft 365 E5 trial, I think. It gives you full Defender for endpoint for 30 days. And here's the truth. Don't be afraid to pay for learning. Even if it's $20 or $30 for a 1-month license, that experience will pay off 100 times over. Number 3 is digital forensics and malware analysis. If you really want to understand cyber attacks, you need to know how to analyze what happens after a compromise. Here are some free tools to start with digital forensic. It's called Velociraptor, I think. You can use that to do incident response and forensics on the endpoint machine. You can collect system artifacts, analyze persistent mechanisms, and search across hosts. VirusTotal is another platform great for checking file hashes, IP addresses, and domain names. PhishTool is another perfect tool for breaking down phishing emails, analyzing headers, URLs, and attachments. You can use AnyRun. That's my favorite cloud sandbox that lets you watch malware execute in real time. You can see registry changes, network connections, and dropped files. Amazing tool. You should get comfortable with AnyRun if you can. You can do all of this stuff to make yourself valuable, Record what the malware does, which process it spawns, what ports it's connected to, That will allow you to write a short forensic summary. If this happens in real environment, here's how I would detect it and contain it. You can build a folder where you save these analysis so you can talk about them in the interview process, or you can show them to the hiring managers on your LinkedIn profile or your GitHub profile, all that sort of stuff. This is how you move from I've studied cybersecurity to I've actually done the work. And number 4 is network monitoring and intrusion detection systems. If you have never configured Snort or Suricata, this is where you start learning how traffic inspection works. Both tools are open source. Both are used in real SOC environments, and they teach you how packets move, what normal versus suspicious traffic looks like, and how detection rules are written. And it's really easy, guys. You can start by installing Suricata in a VM and capturing traffic from your network. You can write a few basic detection rules. For example, trigger an alert when someone pings Google or visit a certain domain, things like that. Reviewing the alerts and understanding what they mean, then take it a step further. If you're using Palo Alto Firewall or FortiGate in Azure, you can actually set up IPS on those devices. So you don't necessarily need to do Suricata or Snort. You can simply enable IPS on your next generation firewall in the cloud. You can initiate brute force attacks, to your firewall, port scans, DNS tunneling, all that sort of stuff. And you'll know how to filter noise from real incidents by going through the logs on your firewall. That's how you start developing real detection skills. So build things, break things in the cloud, work with these tools because it will allow you to gain real world experience. Number 5 is vulnerability scanning and risk prioritization. Finally, let's talk about vulnerability management. This is something that a lot of beginners skip, You can use OpenVAS. It's a completely free tool, or Nessus Essentials. It's also free for your home use. You can run them inside your lab environment and scan your VMs, Windows, Linux, whatever you have in your network. It will show you all the vulnerabilities that exist in your environment. Now, here's what matters. Don't just look at the list of vulnerabilities and walk away. That's what amateurs do. You need to learn to read the output, look at the scoring of the vulnerabilities, understand the difference between impact and likelihood of that vulnerability happening. A high impact vulnerability that's hard to exploit might actually be less urgent than a medium one that's easy to exploit. Then create a simple risk matrix. Write a short report with these 4 points, vulnerability name, impact, what can attacker do, likelihood, how easy it is to exploit, and mitigation. What are the things that we're going to do to patch, change configuration, or compensating controls? That's the kind of thinking security analysts use daily. You're not just scanning right now. You're learning how to assess and prioritize risks. And when you can explain that clearly in an interview, it shows you understand real-world security operations. So that's your full breakdown. 5 real lessons you can start learning right now. In this short video, obviously, I cannot show you how to install and configure each of these tools one step by step, but don't worry. I'm working on a detailed tutorial on how to build your complete home lab using free and open source tools. So if you found this video useful, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I'll walk you through building the lab from scratch in my next videos. And as always, keep learning, stay consistent, because no one's coming to save you. It's on you to build the skills that make you irreplaceable.